If you haven't noticed, you have to show a lot more homes these days to get a buyer under contract. It's not like it was a couple years ago where there was a ton of urgency built into the market and people were just buying after their first showing, right? So what we've done and what we've always done is done a lot of training on how to show homes correctly, so that way you don't have to show as many homes and do as many showing tours for your buyers to buy a home. So I'll just go through what to do while showing a home. A lot of agents don't see the value in how they can accelerate that purchasing decision with your clients while showing. A lot of the times they just view themselves as door openers and they feel like, hey, if my client likes it, they'll buy it, and if they don't, then they won't buy it, right? But you can actually help them make the right decision quicker. One thing that we love to do is just do some research beforehand. Take a look at those seller disclosures, do some research on what's on the market in that neighborhood where you're showing homes. Do some research on that home, how long it's been on the market. You can call the agent, see if they've had any offers, what those offers have been, and if their client is negotiable in selling that home. This goes a long way when you meet with your clients. What it does is it builds a lot of expertise and trust. So instead of showing up empty-handed, you're showing up with a ton of information about each property, and you're building your expertise, and they're gonna trust a lot more of your feedback when they ask you for it. Another great thing to do is arrive early and assess the property. It gives you an idea of what's going on in the neighborhood, not just with the home itself, but what's going on with the homes to the left and right, across the street, the community in general, what's going on with the home inside. You know, it might build up a lot of reasons that you can tell them on why they shouldn't buy that home. And that's great to do. We shouldn't only be telling people why they should buy a home, but we should be focused on why they shouldn't. And if you identify a lot of these things and already have dialed in what they're looking for, you might even be able to skip that showing. Or when they walk up to the door, you can say, hey, let's take a look, but here's a lot of reasons why I think you might not like it. And it might expedite that process with that home instead of them walking through it and trying to make that home work. And you know what that's like, is sometimes they spend way too much time at a home that you know is not gonna work, right? And I'll tell you how to avoid that too. One thing that you wanna do is set up your homes that you view in the right order. I always like to show the best last and the second best first. Here's why. When you show them that second best home first, they've already set the bar pretty high. They're like, dang, this is pretty nice. I like this home, right? So when you show them option number 3, 4, 5, and 6 on that showing tour, it's really easy for them to see when they go to number 3. They're like, yeah, I don't like this as much as number 2, so they don't spend as much time looking at number 3. And then when you go to number 4, again, they don't spend as much time looking at number 4, and so on and so forth. And then when they get to the last option, they can make a decision, right? No one's gonna make a decision on the first home right away, but they will make a decision on the last home because they've already seen everything. So if you've helped them see everything and then save the best for last, now they can make a decision because they feel like they've seen everything, right? Nothing's worse than showing the 5th best home first, because they get to it and they try to make it work. They try to talk about renovation details, what they can do with this, what they can do with that, and in your mind you're like, I know there's the right home in this list and we just haven't gotten there yet. That's why you show them the second best option first, so that way you can set the bar pretty high and get through those next showings pretty quickly. Another really important thing to do is let the client explore but stay engaged, right? And guide them through every single room in the property and make them engage if they're not. And what I mean by that is get if there's a couple involved, get them to communicate with each other, because a lot of the times they haven't done that yet. Get them to communicate with you so you can get more in tune with what they're looking to buy, because the better you understand that, the quicker you're gonna help them find the right home. And sometimes they don't understand what they want. So the quicker you ask them those questions and work through those exercises, the faster they're gonna get into alignment on what they want. So that way when they find the right home, they can pounce on it right away. So something that you might wanna do is, in every room that you look at, tell them to explain to you what they're looking at and what they like. Then also ask them to share everything with you that they don't like. That's equally as important, right? Because now if you know what they don't like and you also know what they do like, you're better able to get the right kind of properties in front of them, so that way they can make a good decision. So we ask them what you like and what you don't like in every room: the bedrooms, the bathrooms, the kitchen, the front of the home. When we're standing at the street and looking at the homes to the left and right, the home behind them, the neighborhood in general. So we want to know what they like and what they don't like with everything. Then when we're done looking at a home, we can review it and say, hey, based on what we just saw, here's your things that you do like, here's your things that you don't like. How does that sound? Does that sound accurate? Now they're going to trust you a lot more. So when they do have some really critical questions for you about what they should do, they're going to trust your opinion because you really are genuinely trying to figure out what they want and what they like. Now, the other thing that you do when you're done looking at a home is ask them to rank that home. Have them put a number on it, scale of 1 to 10. How do you like this home? They might say, I like this home at a 8, right? It gives you a number, so it's like very clear on where it's ranked. And so when you go to the second home, you can say, hey, if the first home was an 8, how would you compare this home? And they say 6. It's like, great, sounds like we should just take it off a list. Does that sound right? Because why would you buy a 6 if you have an 8? And they're going to agree. And then, as they move along, if they say 9, you clearly know that they like it better than that 8, right? It's not just for you to get really clear on what they're trying to tell you, because sometimes it's hard to understand what people mean. It also helps them rank, so that way when you're done, you can summarize the day and say, hey, the first one was an 8, the last one was a 9. If this is your favorite, what do you think about making an offer? Let's just say they say no, that's fair. Ask them why. What would you change? And they might say, I don't know, I just want to go look at a few more properties. No problem. The next day, schedule more properties, but do the same thing. Put the second best first, schedule the others, and then put their favorite from the day before last. So you're gonna do the whole thing over again, look at all those properties, and end up at the last one, which is their favorite. And it might change. The next day, that first one that they see might be their favorite, and then you go back to that one, right? But it's really important just to have them tell you what they like, what they don't like, and also have them rate it, right? Another powerful part of the conversation that you might have is what they would change about the home to make it work, right? They might rank something a 9 but say, I don't want to make an offer. You might say, well, what would you change about it to make it work so you want to make an offer? Because maybe we can get the sellers to accommodate that for you. It could be the flooring, right? It could be things that could be easily changed, maybe some paint colors, or maybe there's some things that we can't change about it. Maybe it's what it backs up to. Maybe they don't like that it backs up to a pond or something like that, right? And you can't really change it. But it really helps you understand what those roadblocks might be and what the negotiables might be with them. Now, another thing you want to do is just follow up quickly. I would say before your showing is done, schedule the next one and schedule their favorite last, like we already talked about. But go ahead and keep them in the field looking at properties. That way they stay engaged with you and stay engaged with the market and keep that process going. When you have long gaps between showings, they forgot what they liked and what they don't like, and they forget what their favorite was like, and things change, and it's better if you just show them consecutively as quickly as possible. It helps them make decisions a lot faster. So these are all things that we do to help benefit our clients and help them see the value in our expertise, helps them communicate more together with each other so they get more clear on what they like and what they don't like. It helps you understand so you can better help them, and helps you prioritize what their wants and needs are alongside with them so they can make the right decision when the time comes. So if you need some more training on any of this stuff, if you enjoyed this, I really love talking about it, just reach out to me so we can talk more about it. We train on this stuff weekly, so feel free to join our team meetings on Tuesdays, and we cover a plethora of different things, not just how to show homes. And if you're looking for a change, if you're not getting the right kind of training that you need right now to be successful, give us a call. Our agents are going on at least 10 new appointments every single month provided by the team, and they're selling at least 2 to 3 homes every single month. So if you're interested in our 9 homes in 90 days guarantee, where we can get you into the field and making money immediately, let us know. I also have a $100,000 guarantee where if you don't make that much money in 1 year, I'll pay you the difference too. So let me know if you're interested, and thank you so much. Bye.